Welcome one and all, my name is Tawess and today we're painting Hatchetman. We're also doing it a bit differently because I picked up a few more contrast paints and I thought like, why not give it a whirl? So that is what I'm going to do. Now, contrast painting of course is a bit different from regular painting because you do everything backwards. Instead of being careful with your paint, you just slob it on and hope for the best. But it's an experiment. Now, to be fair, I'm not a big fan of the Hatchetman design, and thus it ended up as the experimental mech for this little experiment of mine. And the idea was basically to test out these slightly more odd contrast paints, because I'm using red, blues, and yellow. The blood in red, the don't know what the blue is called, and the Iaden yellow, and those were pretty much as expected. But this is white. I mean, what does it do? I wasn't entirely sure. So I want to test it out. And we also have a really weird purple one that I was not thoroughly agreeing with. But for all intents and purposes, again, it was pretty good. It did what it was supposed to do mostly, but the coverage was abysmal even by contrast paint standards, as you will see. Because I was like, yeah, it will probably do good, and then I just applied it and realized that no, it was not doing well at all. But at that point it was too late because it already started, so, you know, you live and you learn. Not really much more to say about this at this point. I mean, we are going to go through the whole stage of me applying this paint and then waiting for things to dry. So, while we watch me making a horrible mess out of this poor mech, let's talk about what is going on in the Battletech world, because as we know, there is apparently a new Kickstarter coming soon. I know, right? Why are they kickstarting at this point? I mean, we all know why, because it is a lot easier to have a limited production run if you know the numbers already when you more or less start. And yeah. But beyond that, I felt it was a bit like, yeah, it's supposed to be a mercenary based one and have a lot of new mech designs, which is nice. We need more mech designs, and that is the only reason I'm very much for this, is that we get more mech designs. Am I going to pledge for this? Yes, I am. 100% I'm going to pledge for that. Also, I can sort of see the difference between the white and the white there, because the grey-ish white and the white. It doesn't show up perfectly because we're still faffing about with the zoom levels on this, trying to get things to work out the way you're supposed to. Anyway, yeah, Kickstarter, definitely going in for that Kickstarter. At as high a level as last time, maybe even a higher level. I'm not entirely sure. We'll see. Depends what the levels are and what the rewards are. But I want more mechs. Also, there's an Alpha Strike box coming. I am getting the Alpha Strike box. Mostly because that is probably what I would really be playing, because as much as I love regular Battletech, it takes a bit too much setting up to have it go easy. And most people I play with are not old school tabletop wargaming people. They are of the young generation. So I think it's probably a good idea to have a game with a bit more flow to it than a battle simulator. Now, as I noted, I was not agreeing with the whole paint scheme, so I mixed up a nice purple and started to, well, basically do what I always do, which is paint the panels. Working away a bit of the pooling and the, what do you call it? In Swedish, you call it flammit, which would roughly translate to fire touched or something around there, but it is uneven. The pooling made it uneven, so I'm going to try and work that away. But yeah, abstract box and the new Kickstarter are definitely going to be things we're getting, because, well, it's nice. We're also still doing project Make a House. It has just ended up a bit in the back burner because, well, things tend to do that. We'll try to do for a few streaming things and sneak preview. In about 6 weeks, I have my vacation. And normally, vacation time would mean people get off their channel and take a well-earned rest. But between you and me, got something planned. You see, I'm gonna start making vehicles in the 6mm scale. Not just military vehicles, because that is coming official vehicles too, but it's take a long time. But yeah, tanks, hovercrafts, planes, all that nice things. But also civilian vehicles, industrial vehicles, maybe even a mech or two down the line, like industrial mechs and other things we usually don't see all that much. And now you might be asking yourself, Tawess, how do I get these things? To which answer, darling, you become a member of my Patreon. That's why I set it up, basically. We are going to put the 3D files on my Patreon once they're done. They're also going to be sold through my mini factory or something similar, some other delivery method. I haven't looked into that yet. Some sort of digital delivery method. So if you miss a set or some such, you can pick them up afterwards. Or if you just want to, like, maybe not get an entire set, just want a few models. So that is what I'm going to do in the summer. So that is basically 4 weeks in the summer I'm going to do that. I mean, we're going to start at least going to learn how to do it, because there's been a long time since I 3D modeled last, and things have changed. The softwares have changed. Everything has changed. Again, we're going to do an easy mix between lore-friendly and, well, pop culture nostalgia. There might be certain red semi-trucks and yellow bug cars going around, among others. Not saying more than that, but you know, between you and me, that is what's coming up. Yeah, that's it. Added purple over the contrast paint did a lot to help it back into what I was hoping it was going to be from the beginning. So that's nice. Not necessarily sure I'm going to do with this purple. It's a nice purple, but it's also very temperamental. My favorite word, temperamental. But yeah. Also, this thing has a tiny little cockpit. It's easy to think that this entire thing in the front there is the cockpit, but no. It's a little tiny square on the underside of it. The more you know. Now, if you want to know more about mech cockpits, I do highly recommend you hit up Bishop Steiner, because that person have the most cockpit action ever going on right now. Also, a lot of spoilers and sneak previews of things coming. So, swing by Bishop Steiner. Also, great art. Anyway, mech cockpits. A very interesting subject for intents and purposes. So yeah, basically what I'm doing now is, let's say, trying to take the edge off the purples, which is working nice. We are going to move on to whites soon, because as you can see, the whites, they're feeling nice, but they're also very fuzzy. And it's not because I'm zoomed in a lot. They are fuzzy. And I mean, you can't really get away from that, can you? That brush is probably never going to be what it was when I started. Yeah, sorry for the slightly shit image quality, but I just want to get really close in doing this, because basically the white was hard to see as it was. Simple layering, thin layers, building up the opacity, making sure that we have a good contrast between the grey and the white, making sure to leave the recessed lines on their own, keeping things apart. And yeah, actually turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to do. We'll probably use this way in the future, just allowing it to be some middle stage for white color. I know you're supposed to just put it on as one coat, but I'm not really getting that working. So we're going to probably use it as a sort of, when I want white but it can't be arsed to actually do it properly. This is a quick way to make it look good. And I mean, you can't really blame me for cheating a bit, can you? Nope. Well, you can. But it won't have much effect. So this is basically just basic matte white. Diluted to an inch of its life. And then blend it back because it was too thin. I mean, it's not much you can do about it. It looks better in person than it does on the screen, I think. But still, even on screen, it looks pretty good. You have a nice sensation of 3D thing going on it. I was going to do some edge highlight later on because, well, it is a Battletech. You can't really get away from not doing edge highlights, can you? I guess you can, but not in this case. But yeah, a lot of interesting things coming up, to be honest. And over the next couple of weeks, we are going to tackle some more in-depth guides like pinstriping and things like that, how to paint neat lines. We are going to go into the whole house building thing. There have been the stream shows on Tuesdays. Yeah, I know I missed this week. Terribly sorry about that. Things got in the way. But Tuesdays, house building. I have now gathered all the materials I need for building some really nice houses. So we're going to do that. We have some juicy cardstock. And Saturday videos, we are going to stick to mech painting, and as I said, we're going to do some line work, pinstriping. I'm going to try to paint a tartan. That's gonna be interesting. And yeah, beyond that, as I said, we want to lay low for the next couple of weeks, do these regular videos, and then once my vacation hits, we're going to start on the modeling series. I mean, you're not going to see much of that because most of it is going to be happening off camera, but I'm going to show the results and sort of behind the scenes things on my Patreon. If you want to be a patron, I fully understand if you don't want to be a patron, because there's not much reason to be one right now, but I would highly appreciate if you did, because believe it or not, make painting, it's an expensive hobby. And yeah, I would love if this thing could pay for itself. I know we aren't really there yet, but I would love if it could. But beyond that, not really much to say about that. We are going to have a look at this slightly blurry image of the mech coming out of the gates. It's actually a really nice mech. We are going to work on the zoom on this camera because this is bad. But, I mean, until next time, stay safe, be kind, and do play fair. Bye.